We're here with SDSU marketing lecturer and founder of Bottom Line Marketing, Miro Copic. Miro, hi.
Hi, Maya.
It's good to see you again. And over the last decade, of course, the amount of online shopping has exploded, and with that has come those who want to take advantage of consumers online. What, in terms of cybersecurity, advice would you have to stay protected?
This week is National Tax Security Awareness Week, and a bunch of federal agencies like the IRS, the Social Security Administration, the FBI were here talking to consumers about these cybersecurity tips, and they offer a handful of tips that are really important. So the first one is, if you're going to do shopping, and now's the time to shop, create a separate online email account for your shopping account. That means all your advertising, all the spam will go there, and your personal email account is going to be protected. Second, passwords. People used to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Now experts are recommending 12 characters. Numbers, characters, upper and lowercase letters. That's a major issue. If you're accessing any kind of financial information from your bank, your credit card company, do so either at home or on a secure Wi-Fi network. Don't do it at Starbucks, because your information can get intercepted very easily there if there's a scammer trying to siphon off the signal. Across the board, consumers have to be very careful about their security online, otherwise they can lose their identity or their money.
That's right. And staying on the topic of scammers and protection from scammers, this week the House of Representatives approved a bill to crack down on those annoying robocalls. What can you tell us about that and what that means for our future in answering phone calls like that?
You know, it's a scary thing. What these guys are doing, and their whole intent, is to scam you out of your social security number, your bank account numbers, passwords. That's what they do to get this information. What the act does is it'll hopefully be passed by the Senate next week, and it looks like to be signed into law by the end of the year. But it does 3 very important things. It requires phone companies to block robocalls without charging their customers. Number 2, it ensures that all the calls are from a real number. And lastly, what it does, it gives teeth to the government to not only find but prosecute spammers. This is great, but sometimes even local companies can get caught in this. There's a local company called Codified. They were fined $2.2 million by the FCC. They have an enterprise software application called House Call Pro, and they work with home service providers to help them build business. Well, there's an act that was passed called the Telephone Consumer Protection Act that says that you cannot receive an unsolicited phone call. House Call Pro actually solicited people that were not self-identified. They were sued. They were fined $2.2 million. This is, not a brand new startup, but it's an early stage company that's been very successful. There's criminals and there's companies that are doing this, and it's going to be an interesting situation as this unfolds.
And we will be watching. And finally, here at home in San Diego, Ballast Point has a new owner. Can you tell us about the latest acquisition and what that means for the brand?
Yeah, Ballast Point, the second time they've been bought and sold in the last 4 years. First by Constellation Brands, and they own a bunch of wineries. They bought Ballast Point in 2015 during the height of the craft beer movement. They bought them for almost $1 billion. Ballast Point went from brewing 430,000 barrels a year to barely 200,000 this year, according to records. So in selling it to this company called Kings and Convicts out of Chicago, it's a small brewer, they're acquiring Ballast Point from Constellation. The good news for Ballast Point is they keep all the employees. They're actually going to hire more employees to help sales, and that's going to be the core focus, to kind of rebuild and reboost Ballast Point.
Great. Miro, thank you so very much for the information.
Thank you, Maya.